Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dr. Robinson again, and we're going to continue our studies. We are reviewing for the grade 7, Unit 1 to 3 exam. So this is show number 1. And let's remember, if you need help with your homework, there's Dial a Teacher Homework Helpline at 212-777-3380, Monday to Thursday, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Give them a call. They're nice people. Don't forget to watch our show Math Time on Tuesdays from 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Optimum Cablevision and only in Peekskill on Channel 15. Don't forget, Dr. Rob has videos on YouTube. My channel name is Dan Robinson. Give us a thumbs up, like our videos, write us a comment, let us know how we're doing, subscribe to our channel, try to help us get to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you for those of you who have subscribed, but tell your friends and relatives and neighbors that Dr. Robinson has YouTube videos to help his students. All right, take a look at our latest release, PKMS Math Prep 19, very good movie. And we're working on the Math Prep 20, so that should be hopefully released soon. So give us a thumbs up on that if you like it. Tweet me at drobmath1. All right, let's get started. Here's our first question of review. Question number 3. This came from the 2019 New York State 7th grade assessment. So I'm jumping around there basically and got a few others mixed in, but that's where I'm focusing today. So Joseph's lunch at a restaurant costs $13 with tax. I'm sorry, without tax. So there's no tax, so we don't have to worry about sales tax. He leaves the waiter a tip of 17% of the cost of the lunch without tax. So there's, again, no tax to worry about. So there's a tip, though. What's the total cost of the lunch, including the tip without tax? All right, so we got some things we need to point out to you. So let me start highlighting a few things. So the cost was $13 for the lunch, and there's a tip for the waiter of 17%. And of is a good word to know because if you remember in my other video, of most times means multiply. So keep that in mind. Of means multiply. So I'm going to multiply $13 times 7%, or 7% of $13. So let me get my calculator. And if I can get to it, nice movie. Decimals, there it is. 7% of $13, and this will give us the amount of tip that he wants to leave. So it looks like 91 cents. That's all he wants to leave? Oh, I'm sorry. It's 17%. Ah, there's your problem, Dr. Rob. It's 17%. All right. Good thing we looked at that. I'm like this. I was saying that's a low tip. So let's go back to our calculator again. So let's clear this. 17% of $13. There's the tip. $2.21. So that's the tip he would leave. So I noticed that was one of the answers, but they didn't say the tip only. They said the total cost. So let's just add the $13 for the food with the tip. So it's going to be either one of these amounts, $2.21 or $13 plus $2.21. So it's either going to be $15.21 or $2.21. So that's going to be the price. So let's go back to the page. So what are they asking for? So what's important to know that we got $2.21, which is this choice answer. And when we took the $13 plus the $2.21, we got $15.21. So that's this answer. So the question is, which one do we choose? Well, it's based on the question. What are they asking for? Are they asking for the tip or are they asking for the total? So this is where reading the question at least 3 times helps out. The total is what they want. They say, what is the total cost of the lunch, including the tip? And you don't have to worry about sales tax. So this is the tip. So the total will be the $15.21. So if you chose choice D, you are correct. $15.21 is the total. That was a good question. Let's keep moving. On average, Shantae drinks half of a 6-ounce glass of water in 2/3 hour. How much water does she drink in an hour? Well, let me read that again because I saw something at the beginning about half of a 6-ounce glass. Half of a 6-ounce glass, we said of is a good word to know. It means times. So 1/2 times 6 ounces, that's 3 ounces. So she's drinking 3 ounces of water in 2/3 of an hour. Now I should be able to figure out how much is 2/3 hour in minutes, but they want to know how much is she going to drink in 1 hour. So um, there's a couple ways I can attack it, but let me use ratios and proportions. So let's use ratios and proportions. What do you mean, Dr. Rob? So I'm going to compare the 3 ounces. Let me change color here. The 3 ounces, and this is my water. I'm going to compare that to hours. So I'm going to make a fraction. 3 ounces of water in 2/3 hour, because that's what they said right here. Now, they want to know how much water. So here's my second fraction. How much water is she going to drink in 1 hour? I'm going to put a 1 here because my hours is down here. 2/3 of an hour was 3 ounces. 1 whole hour is what they want to know. So if you look at my setup, I have a setup of 3 ounces of water over 2/3 hour equals question mark water over 1 whole hour. How do we solve those proportions? If you remember from Unit 1, we cross multiply. So we're going to cross multiply. So let's change colors. 2/3 times something equals 3 ounces times 1. So 2/3 times something is 2/3, and I'll put a little x for that. And that is going to be equal to 3 times 1, because 3 times 1 is 3. Now all I got to do is solve for x. If you remember how to solve for x, we have to divide both sides by the same number that's next to the x. Do that to both sides. So we're going to divide that by 2/3. That way those numbers will cancel out, leaving us with just the x. Here's where the calculator comes in handy. Let me go get my calculator because it's 3 divided by 2/3. So let me get my calculator, clear all this stuff. Take 3 divided by, oh, I didn't, let me clear that again. 3 divided by 2/3. So let me type a fraction there so I can get my fraction in there. 2/3. And that's exactly what I have. That's what I like about this calculator. It puts in exactly what you put in there. So 3 divided by a fraction of 2/3. And notice it gives me the answer. On the side, 4.5 is my answer. So I got my answer of 4.5 ounces, and I am done with that question, which was letter C. So x is equal to 4.5, which is letter C. So if you pick C, you're in good shape. So 4.5 ounces. So that was good work. All right, so I hope you're understanding what's going on. If you're not sure, rewatch the video and write down your questions and bring them in class, and I'll be glad to solve them and help you with it. You can also reach me during my office hours as well. All right, here was our next question. What value will make the equation true. Negative 2.1 minus question mark equals negative 1.5. Well, they're giving us a multiple choice here. So this is where a calculator would come in handy. So negative 2.1 minus this stuff equals negative 2.1. Now, uh, I could put in what I would suggest, since you have a calculator, put in each one of these just to see what they equal to. I'm going to get my calculator and let me put it over there and see if I can. This is where I missed my other calculator. So let's clear this stuff. Uh, Negative 2.1 minus, and now I'm going to pick each one of these to see which one equals to negative 1.5. So I'm going to start with 0.6. 0.6, just for the fun of it. And press enter. Notice that equals to, oops, I typed it wrong. Let me clear that. So negative 2.1. And if you're wondering why I typed the minus sign, negative and minus uh, is another way of being the same thing. So keep that in mind when you use your calculator. Except my calculator doesn't have a negative sign. Some calculators do. So be careful. So minus 0.6. Press enter. That gives me negative 2.7. I'm looking for negative 1.5. So let me try that again. Negative 2.1 minus, I'll try negative 0.6. And I'll put that in parentheses because I like to keep my negative sign away from the minus sign. So this is one of those cases. 0.6, close the parenthesis, and I get negative 1.5, and if you know, 1.5 is another way of saying a half. So there is my answer. So my answer is going to be choice C. So if you chose choice C, oops, no, sorry. Let's erase that. Choice C, sorry, I forgot to get rid of that answer. So choice C is the correct answer. So that was calculator work for you. All right, what else we got? Which representation shows a proportional relationship between x and y? Well, if you remember proportional relationship, when it comes down to tables, there are three main features that it has to have. One, it's got to be a straight line. So I'm looking at A and B, they're both straight lines, so that's good. Two, it's got to go through the origin. Origin is the point of beginning. It's got to go through point 0, 0. So let's get a pen and show you where the origin is. The origin is right down here. So it's got to go through there. And this one doesn't, so A is gone. And this one is definitely not going through the origin, so that one's gone. So that's not a proportional relationship. So that means it's got to be the table. So now I got to keep in mind what's the third thing that it has to be in order to be a proportional relationship now that I'm dealing with tables. Well, it has to have a constant of proportionality. What do you mean by a constant of proportionality? That's when your k value is equal to all of them when you have y over x. So every single one of these are going to be equal to when I replace k when I replace y over x. So 8 over 2 will equal to 4. And this one, k, is equal to, and I should change color. So that's 4. 16 over 4, that's 4. And I'll go over here. 12k equals 24 over 8. But wait a minute, that's 3. That doesn't equal. So my answer C is no good. So that means the answer's got to be D. Are you sure, Dr. Rob? Yeah, check it. Let's see. K equals, y over x. 3 over 2 is my first one. And I'll continue with that. Let me just change colors though. K equals 6 over 4. If you divide that by 2, both top and bottom, that'll give you 3 over 2. So it works on this one and this one. So far, they're the same. Let me try this other one over here. K equals 12 over 8. I'm going to divide those by 2, or how about 4? Divide by 4, it's a little bit bigger. Divide by 4, that'll give me 3 over 2. Wow, so that one works. So Dr. Rob, I am very sure that the last one also works, but I better check it just in case. K equals 18 over 12. I'm going to divide that by 6. Divide that by 6, and that is equal to 3 over 2. So if you said choice D, you are absolutely correct. So that's good. So remember, constant of proportionality, and a graph has to go through the origin, and it must be a straight line. And for a table as well, it has to have a constant of proportionality k value where k equals y over x. Wow, that was a good question. So I hope you're enjoying the video so far. Check your understanding. If you understand what's going on, good. But if you're not sure, write down your questions and bring them in the class tomorrow, and I'll be glad to go over it with you. All right, here's our last question that I'm going to stop with. So which situation results in the final value of 0? All right, so we got a temperature decreases. Decreases means goes down. After a temperature after a decrease of 5 degrees from a temperature of negative 5 degrees. So we want to know, does that equal to 0? Well, if it started at negative 5 degrees and is decreasing uh, of negative 5, I'm sorry, by 5 degrees, so it decreased by 5, and it was at negative 5, that'll give me negative 10 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's not going to equal to 0, because the temperature decreased of 5 degrees from a temperature. From means it started from there and it went down. So if you get the number line, it started from negative 5 and it went even further down cold. So it's really cold at negative 10 degrees. So if you thought it was A, sorry, that's not it. Let's look at B. The height of an airplane after taking off from the ground level, rising 1,000 feet. Hmm? What is it? Final. Wait a minute. I don't get it. It's going up. Because how do I know it's going up? Because it's rising. That's positive. 1,000 feet. So positive 1,000 would be how you would write that. That's not equal to 0. So if anything, it's 0 plus 1,000. So no, that's not it. So B is no good. Let's try a different one. Let's look at C. The amount of money received in change after making a $10 purchase with a $20 bill. Well, if I bought some food and I gave the guy a $20 bill and the food cost $10, I would get $10 change. And that's not equal to 0. So it's got to be choice D. So I'm going to believe it's choice D. So let's take a look at D. The distance above sea level after increasing 24 meters from a depth of 24 meters below sea level. Well, if you remember when we were talking about the sea level is at 0. There's the sea. So there's your 0. So it increased. This is above sea level after increasing 24 meters from a depth of 24 meters. So it went above sea level. So maybe it's like a submarine or something, uh, and it went up. So it went up 24. where it was at a depth of under the sea of negative 24. So it was down there the sea, under the sea level. So it was down there and it went up 24. So it went up to the sea level. So instead of being above the sea level, sorry, let's get that out of there. So let's erase that. So it was down there, way down here, under the sea level, under at minus 24, way down there, and it went up 24, and now meters. Now it is at sea level, which is at 0. So that's why it's got to be D, because it went up 24 when it was under 24 meters. So if you pick D, and I see I didn't fix that, so D is the correct one. All right, so whew, Dollar Teacher Homework Helpline, 212-777-3380, Monday to Thursdays, 4 o'clock through 7 o'clock p.m. They're good people. Give them a shot and let them help you out. Watch our Math Time show Tuesdays from 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. Cablevision and Peak Skill only. Optimum Cablevision and Peak Skill only at channel 15. Good show. Watch Dr. Rob on YouTube. Check out some of my other study videos. My channel name is Dan Robinson. Subscribe to our channel. Help us to get to 1,000 subscribers. Give us a thumbs up and write us a comment. I do write back. Check out our latest release, PKMS Math Prep 19. We're working on 20. Tweet me at drobmath1. Good luck on your test. If you would like to study with me, you can write me at robinsonmath@aol.com. And there's that homework helpline. And that's it. Interesting. Okay. So, all right, that's it for today. So I hope you enjoyed our video. Bye-bye.